Good morning, students. Today we are going to learn history, chapter 7, Society, Woman, and Caste System. In this chapter, we are going to cover what is the woman position in our society and what is the role of caste in our society and a woman's. Now, let's start with the position of woman. Social reformers of the 19th century were distributed by the prevalence of feudal and patriarchal attitude in an age when the world around them, particularly the West, had undergone a radical social transformation. Let us discuss some of these. Social evils faced by women. The birth of a daughter was considered a curse. The inhuman practice of female infanticide was widely prevalent in Indian society. Polygamy was a common norm where one man kept more than one wife. Child marriage forced little girls into marriage when they were mentally and physically immature. By the time they gained maturity, they would become widows. Widowhood was considered inauspicious, and a widow was forced to lead a secluded and orchestrated life. The dowry system was strictly practiced. Girls from poor families often remained unmarried or committed suicide to lessen the burden of their parent. Sati was also practiced, and women jumped into the funeral prey of their deceased husband. Women did not have access to education and hence were unaware of their rights. They remained ensconced in their small world. Women did not have the right to inherit property. Other problem in society, that is caste system. The caste system, along with the practice of untouchability, has been an old evil and is intricately embedded in Indian society. In the Hindu system, people were categorized in one or other of the four major social orders: Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. Shudra were regarded as untouchables. Some social reforms of the 19th century realized the necessity to rid the society of this evil. According to them, reform in caste system would lead to uplift of society and different communities. The reform would also bring about unity among people, and thus the spirit of nationalism would be generated. Attempts to improve the status of women. Reformers like Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, and others realized that improvement in the status and condition of Indian women was a necessary precondition for the overall social transformation of Indian society. Hence, they advocated improving the status of women through laws banning evil practice such as sati and female infanticide, making modern education available to women, a share for women in property and equal inheritance right. Issue of Sati and Raja Ram Mohan Roy. A widow who burnt herself on the funeral of her dead husband was considered sacred, reserved as a Sati. Raja Ram Mohan Roy said Sati as a murder according to every Shastra. He helped of various ancient texts to that nowhere was such a practice recommended. One of the most inhuman customs a woman forced to follow. By the early 19th century, every British had become critical of such suppressive evil practice in India. Raja Ram Mohan Rai is something called the Raja of modern India for his dedicated efforts to erase various civil practice from society. He was a pillar in initiating reform movement. He wanted to the society of meaningless ritual and inheritance practice. Due to his effort, in 1829, the Government General of India, Lord Benedict, declared the practice of sati was illegal. Ram Mohan Rai translated the Vedas and Upanishad into Bengali. He started two newspapers, Samvad Kumudi Bengali and Milan Akbar Persian. Apart from Raja Ram Mohan Rai, De Saraswati, Dayanand Saraswati also various condemned the practice of sati. Widow remarriage. Widows were deprived of all pleasure of life and were bounded by numerous rituals. They were not allowed to remarry. To raise the status of women, Ram Mohan Roy also preached in favor of widow remarriage. Pandit Ramabai was another reformer and activist in India who served widow and helpless women of India. He spoke against the practice of child marriage and the terrible constraint of the lives of child widows. In 1887, the Ramabai Association was founded, which worked for the downtrodden in society. She also established the Mukti Mission in 1889 as a refuge of young widows who were abused by their family. Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. Vishwachandra Vidyasagar made insignificant contribution in the field of education and emancipation of women. His effort made the British government legalize widow remarriage in 1856. The first lawful widow remarriage among the upper caste in India was celebrated in Calcutta in December 1856 under the supervision of Vidyasagar. For the advocacy of widow remarriage, Vidyasagar has to face bitter enmity of the Orthodox Hindu. Vidyasagar is also considered the father of modern Bengali language. He wrote special premier in Bengali called Barna Parichay. Education for women. Vidyasagar was deeply interested in the education of women as a government inspector of schools. He opened 35 girls' schools, many of which were run at his own expenses. As a result of his effort, the first girls' school in Calcutta, Bethuni School, was established by J.E.D. Bethuni in 1849. Swami Dayanand also advocated the authority of Vedas and preached the idea back to Vedas. In 1875, he founded the Arya Samaj, which was based on the principle of the Vedas. Under the aegis of the Arya Samaj, special schools were opened in different parts of India for educating girls. Child marriage. The Age of Consent Act enacted in British India in March 1891 raised the age of consent for all girls married or unmarried from the 10 to 12 years in all jurisdictions. The bill, however, provoked a powerful Hindu Orthodox backlash. Behram Ji Balabari, a Parsi reformer and a journalist from Bombay, advocated for his legislation. In August 1884, Malabari published a set of notes on infant marriage and enforced widowhood that he sent to 4,000 leading Englishmen and Hindu. In it, Malabari deplored the social evil of baby marriage and demanded a legislature to prevent it. Dayanand Saraswati also strongly opposed child marriage. Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. The most prominent social reformer among the Muslims was Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. He dedicated his life to bring about enlightenment among the Muslims. In particular, Syed Ahmad Khan advocated raising the status of women in society, removal of parda, and spread of education among women. He also condemned the popular custom of polygamy and easy divorce. Impact of the reformist movement. As a result of the reformist movement, significant advances were made in the field of emancipation of women. Many legal measures were taken to elevate their status. Sati was banned in 1829. Slavery was declared illegal in 1843. Widow remarriage was legalized in 1856. Intercaste marriage were legalized in 1872. Shraddha Act of 1829 raised the marriageable age of girls to 14 and of boys to 18. Women were encouraged to be educated and were also given the right to inherit property. That's all for today. Tomorrow we are going to learn remaining part of this chapter.